In 1978, $360 million was spent on epilepsy-related expenses in the United States. That number has increased to $9.6 billion in 2010.
My name is David Blackwell, and I served as Executive Director of the Epilepsy Foundation from 1982 for 26.5 years. We started out as the Idaho Epilepsy League, then we became the Epilepsy League of Idaho, and then finally Epilepsy Foundation of Idaho.
In 1985, Idaho welcomed a new pediatric neurologist, Dr. David Bettis. In the 1980s, the Epilepsy League of Idaho began some unique fundraising, such as Superfloat, St. Valentine's Day Massacre, mud volleyball, and a jazzercise to bring awareness and fun to the organization. In 1984, the first honoree at the St. Valentine's Day Massacre was Baseball Hall of Famer Harmon Killebrew.
When Lynn was first diagnosed with epilepsy, he was put on medication and achieved pretty good control of his seizures. But then at the age of 16, his seizures just went out of control. At 17, Lynn had brain surgery and followed up the next year with another brain surgery, which achieved about 85% control. He never got seizure-free during that time period, but he was able to do a lot more. And then at the age of 20, also had the vagus nerve stimulator implanted. He graduated from high school and he went on to a transition program at BSU. He was able to work at McDonald's and go to school and was as independent as he could possibly be. About 5 to 6 years ago, his seizures just went like gangbusters again. And he not only had generalized tonic-clonic seizures and complex partial seizures, but he also developed drop attacks, which caused tremendous injury. And so at that point in time, he was working at Edwards Theater, and because of the risk of injury, he had to quit his job. And since that time, we have just been attempting to get back some control, and at least the control of the drop attacks. Lynn's broken his front teeth off, he's broken his jaw, he has multiple bruises all the time.
In 1987, the Epilepsy League of Idaho raised money to bring Rosemary Weiss back to Boise for epilepsy treatment. In 1993, Alicia Gellings from Idaho Falls was chosen as the Epilepsy Foundation National Winning Kid, the first child chosen with multiple disabilities. In 1994, K.T. Cunningham won the Gregory Giles Scholarship. K.T. was Idaho's first televised epilepsy brain surgery. In 1996, Justine Strebe was one of the first children in Idaho to try the ketogenic diet.
My name is Justine Strebe, and I had absence seizures. The amount of seizures I was having a day, I would have been considered special ed and not be to the ability that a normal kid my age would have been able to be educated and everything.
We first were diagnosed, and when I say we, I always look at it as it was us. It was never just her. It was all about our life as a family. I did not know anything about epilepsy. I knew that those were the people that laid on the floor and acted however, which is nothing what she did. I've educated myself. That's what led me then to the keto diet after probably 5 years of, I believe, about 10 meds, combination of medications. I think desperate for her to be seizure-free, and then she was a success story on the diet.
I am going to be 22 in a couple of days, and it's been, I think, 15 years since I've been seizure-free. It was kind of a long journey, I guess you could say.
In 1997, the Idaho Epilepsy League changed their name to the Epilepsy Foundation of Idaho, and also adopting the national logo. In 1998, Laura Lee Anderson, Epilepsy Service Specialist in Idaho Falls, was chosen as Employee of the Year by the Epilepsy Foundation of America. In 1998, thanks to Micron technology, the Epilepsy Foundation of Idaho joined the World Wide Web. 2002 gave way to the first annual D.L. Evans Golf Tournament, benefiting the Epilepsy Foundation of Idaho.
Jane is our granddaughter. Right now she's 16 years old. She had her first seizure when we were going to the balloon festival, and we had no clue what was happening to her, what it was, and then realized that she had had a seizure. Oh boy, and then it was a rocky road trying to get the right diagnosis. Nobody in town was doing really anything with epilepsy. Then as help started coming into town, we found out more stuff, which finally led to going to Stanford, having brain surgery, and we just feel like she's a huge success story. At one point we thought she was going to maybe have to be institutionalized. It was just heartbreaking. And then now she's 16. We had a sweet 16 party for her at our house.
There just was so much to it. And then she came back, and then, as Sue said, she had the success, and now she's grown a nice young lady and having a party and having her overnight. And I can remember when I couldn't take her to lunch, and now I can take her to lunch. And she's smiling, she's a happy young lady. So.
Kaylee is wonderful. She's a sweet-spirited girl. She is 16. We've always had different disabilities with Kaylee. Epilepsy came along a little bit later, around the time she was 12. It was like one more thing, but Kaylee takes everything in stride. She's so positive. Everyone is Kaylee's friend. And epilepsy has been the hardest thing for her to deal with of all of her disabilities. But she's a fighter. She tells me all the time, "Mom, I'm a fighter." She is writing a book about what it's like to have disabilities for her, and especially epilepsy. And her goal in doing this is to share her story and hopefully inspire other kids to be strong and powerful.
In 2005, St. Luke's and Dr. Robert Wexler opened the first Level 3 comprehensive epilepsy monitoring unit in the state of Idaho. In 2010, the Epilepsy Foundation of Idaho hosted the first camp for families and individuals with epilepsy. It is called Camp Spirit.
Probably the greatest moment for the foundation was Camp Spirit. To be a part of a camp, to watch these kids for the first time share and express how they feel, and to truly watch the lives change over the weekend, whether it be mom or the kids. It was probably the most powerful moment for me.
It was an amazing weekend. We met wonderful people, and we left feeling very positive. And Kaylee has not had an issue with feeling bad about herself since. She knows there's other people out there with epilepsy and that she's not alone. So I highly recommend it. We look very forward to going again.
camp, and that signature program for us is solely funded by donors and the love of these kids to get them for the first time ever talking about their disorder and to support these families. Now in 2011, the Epilepsy Foundation of Idaho celebrates 40 years of serving Idahoans with epilepsy.
When you look at the kind of clients that we provide service to, you see these young children who have been affected socially, academically by the condition. We're able to help them with that, and as a result, those people are much, much more able to be successful, and it's just as wonderful to see people like that benefit from an organization like this. And those are the kind of things that I believe people need to be aware of so that they understand what we do and that their support financially is important to us to continue that mission out there. Without Epilepsy Foundation of Idaho, that isn't going to happen.
I think that if we work together as a unified voice, we're going to be much more successful in what we are attempting to achieve. That's to improve quality of life for people.
I just think what this foundation has done to just keep awareness, keep it going, it just spreads. It spreads if we are willing to talk.
They have been such a resource for us as a family that, and I think we're lucky because we live and we've been able to establish personal relationships with the staff throughout the years. I just would like to see every family in Idaho be able to be touched and supported as much as we have.
I just found that I could call here, and sometimes I don't even know if I want an answer. I just need to talk about how scared we were, or what this might possibly mean, but that's how.
With the Epilepsy Foundation, I remember walking into this very office the very day that she was diagnosed, and I remember walking in and saying, "Help, I have no clue."